Hello, you are welcome to another segment of Inspirational Moments with Emmanuel Goshen. In this segment, we'll be discussing the power of self-authentication. The power of self-authentication. Just looking at the diagram, you can see that there are two ducks, but one is a real duck, and the other one is let me say, it's a toy. And the words about is that the toy duck looks beautiful, but has no tendency of growing. While the lively duck, has the tendency of growing because it's real, and it could feed himself. It could, it will never be the same like the toy duck. So likewise, when we talk of self-authentication, it's a matter of being real. It's a matter of identifying ourselves. It's a matter of identifying our potentials to become something better than what we are today. And one thing I would like to say is that nothing else would ever enable us to live our real life or to be fulfilled in life than to be real to ourselves. So that is, the more we are real to ourselves, the more tendencies we have to live a fulfilled life. And as John Maxwell said, that most people don't live their life, they accept their life. It takes the power of authenticity or the power of authentication to lead your own life. Before you could lead, you must have identified yourself. Before you could lead, you must have known what you want, what you could be, what you could achieve, the height you could go. It's a matter of having the real picture of the future ahead of time. And rather than accepting whatever comes your way, you determine what you want to get in life. Yes, it takes doing the extra work, it takes going the extra mile, but yet, because you are real to yourself, you will not be contented settling for an average life or settling for what others are settling for. You assume, people live based on assumptions. People live based on assumed norms. But rather than taking that, you prefer to challenge the norms and, discover your own self and follow your own path. Rather than following the crowd, you will consider it vital, to discover your own self and become a very good version or better version of what you are today. So, it takes self-authentication to lead our lives rather than accepting what comes our way. Now, what I would like to say at this point is, life becomes more meaningful when living one's life for oneself. That's very, very essential for us to understand. That is, not pretending to be someone else, or having the mental capability to discover, understand, and believe in one's identity. The word identity simply means or stands for who we are. Yes, what we stand for, who we could be, and how we could achieve what we want to achieve in life. So, when we look at it, it requires us to be authentic or to be real to ourselves, to discover, understand, and believe in ourselves. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody will ever believe in you. If you are not real to yourself, nobody will be real to you, and nobody can make you real to yourself. You are the only one who could make yourself real to your own self. The situation is, if you refuse to live your own life for your own self, someone else will live your life for you. It's as simple as that. Now, another point is, I will highly recommend that you could get this book. You could get this book on Amazon. Yes, the 7 Laws of Productivity. For you to be productive in life, or make your vision a reality, you need to be real to your own self. Yes, the book is available on Amazon, and once you buy it, you realize that you get more insight in terms of how to live a productive and meaningful life. And here's something which I've emphasized in this book is that the future is not what we hope for. The future is what we create today. So the future is not something you expect, but it's something that you create. You don't, as a farmer, you don't just leave your farmland to, and harvest something, and make an harvest at the end of the day, you would have created what you want to harvest by planting at the right time. So this is what productivity is all about. You having the right skills, right idea, insight, yes, ahead of the future is what makes you productive. And one of the main seeds for you to be productive is being authentic to your own self. Now, don't limit yourself. Most people limit themselves to what they think they can do. You can go as far as your mind lets you. What you believe, remember, you can achieve. When we talk of being real to ourselves, it's more psychological and philosophical, and it's more imaginary. That is to say, what your mind could portray about you, you can eventually achieve it without any form of doubt. But limit dwells in the mind, and excellence dwells in the mind as well. So when you limit yourself, you end up being limited. Maybe because as a result of the assumed norms, circumstances, what people have believed, or even at times what even people's opinion at times, if you are not careful, it limits you, and which is very, very dangerous to our psychological life. One of those things that limit us is that maybe people who know your background, they end up coming up to tell you how your father failed, how your mother failed, and they want you to project your life based on what they know about you. It's very, very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. And because they try to imagine you being limited, being a failure. And what good thing is that you have to use your mind to resist such things and never accept them in life. Remember, as Mary Kay has said, what you believe, remember, you can achieve. That is, what you believe about yourself today, you can achieve tomorrow. But before you can believe anything possible about yourself, you need to be real to your own self, in which is one of the powers of self-authentication. Now, let's move to the definition of authenticity. Authenticity is the quality of being real and true to oneself to the core. That is, the philosophy we stand for in life. As I usually say, a man is his own philosophy. That is, the way you think, the way you express yourself, the way you feel, the way you see life, the way you see the paradigm. Many people might try to cast you down as if you don't know what you are doing, as if you are going nowhere. They have their reason for their own imagination about you. Is that they are entitled to their own opinion. But you are responsible for your own success and failure in life. And it's left for you to absorb it or reject it. It's your choice. Yes, one of the commonest power we all have in life is the power to make choices. And take it or leave it. What you stand for is very essential. Because if you betray yourself, automatically nobody will ever trust you. So another point is an act of expressing one's true thoughts, feeling, and views unapologetically. That is, you don't need to apologize to anybody for being who you are or for standing for what you believe in life. People who stand for their belief, they are being distinguished because what you believe facilitates the type of efforts or the investment to make in yourself. That is, what you cherish about yourself, what you see about yourself. So, like Alan Sugar said, you see, he said, what you see is what you get. That is, you are eventually what you imagine about yourself. So that is why you need to be authentic and truthful to your own self. Another point is that being extremely frank and honest. Yes, allowing others to see one as being transparent as possible. That's it. So, one thing I need to say is, it's not paramount. You have to be a people pleaser that you just want to please, or you want to spend all your life pleasing people. You understand my point? Either you like it or not, if you end up in a failure for pleasing people, nobody will take responsibility for that failure. It's as simple as that. Yes, and what you need to understand is that people, end up being failures simply because they take to advice. As I usually say, as a life coach, I usually tell people, not all advice are reasonable, and not all reasonable advices are applicable. They are two different things. Yes. If you intend to drive a manual car is different from driving an automatic car. And when you intend to drive, a driverless car is different from a manual car. So you are the one facing challenges. Taking advice is never bad, but what you need to know that ask yourself, analyze it yourself. Is this advice applicable? You have to imagine the possible outcomes of any advice you'll be taking or applying. And this is very, very essential for you to take on board. Now, let's reason. You see, I have to say this again. Life becomes more meaningful when living one's life for oneself. Not pretending to be, that is, not pretending to be someone else, and also having the mental capability to discover, understand, and believe one's identity. Very, very essential for us to understand. You see, at times when you decide to start for your own self, you come across a lot of challenges. Because living for your life for your own self requires an high level of philosophy. It's not something that you could discover in an average person. An average person will always follow the normal paradigm being followed by others. But the truth is, for you to start for your own self, it has come to a point whereby you know that you know that you have to set your own future by yourself. It's not just being waiting for what others have to offer you. The truth is that waiting for such things will take you nowhere. Because life will always give you what it has gotten for others, not what you really want. And a man without a choice is the best failure being recorded. So now another point. Let us look at the facts about self-authentication. For anyone to be effective and live a fulfilled life, it needs to be himself and not a carbon copy of someone else. Let's understand something. You could get inspired, yes, by someone. However, you have to understand that being inspired does not mean you have to do exactly what the person does. That's one. And if you are taking the same direction with the person, yes, you could also get inspired by finding out what the person does in order to excel. Because being successful is not by magic. It requires understanding and applying. You see, when you are the right principles, when you apply principles without understanding them, you are just as good as a man on a journey with a map, and who does not even know how to use the map. So it requires you to understand the principles you want to apply before you can apply them, and that's what will make you a good version of yourself and not a carbon copy. Yes, another point about self-authentication is about reflecting who you are, who we are, yeah, and what we stand for, without filtering or faking ourselves or others. That is one thing you need to understand. You see, when you simply go to play football simply because you love football, that will never make you a professional footballer. Yes, football fans who go to the field, they love football. The football players who play football, they love football as well. But simply because you love football will never make you a professional football player. You might be passionate about it, yes, but however, that does not make you a football player. Another point about self-authentication is self-authentication makes one a lifelong learner, because authentic people never stop investing in themselves. As usually said, the day we stop learning is the day we start dying. And what's about learning is that apart from learning from books, apart from learning from various movies, podcasts, whatsoever, life itself is also a teacher. There are lessons you learn from yourself. There are lessons you learn from those around you. And one thing about real people is that lessons we learn from people can still be applied to our own self at various points or the other. But one thing we need to understand while applying lessons or experiences is that we need to be realistic while applying them. Because You can't just apply the wrong pill to the wrong situation. Such a situation doubles your problem. So when you go to the doctor prescribes you some drugs. You don't go to the pharmacy to go and dictate or change it because the doctor knows why he has prescribed those drugs for you. So being real requires you to invest in your own self, and the more you invest in your own self, the more the more opportunities you create for yourself ahead of the future. And there's no magic about it. What you see is what you get. Another point is that self-authentication enables us to determine how best we overcome obstacles and challenges, having known our strengths and weaknesses while putting them into play. That's very essential. However, it enables us to deal with problems and issues in the appropriate manner and not pretending by procrastinating or ignoring them. We don't pretend to be what we are not. And just like you flogging a dead horse and assuming that the dead horse is busy moving you at a distance. Such a person will be assumed to have an imaginary problem, and nothing else will make you live your own life other than being rude to yourself. Obstacles and challenges are inevitable. Problems are also inevitable in life, but the level at which you are being authentic to yourself creates the possibility of overturning them to opportunities rather than seeing them as a reason to remain in your comfort zone or to compromise. So when you see people being a carbon copy of themselves, the truth is they can never go far in any endeavor. They will only pretend, and after a while they leave the scene because they have nothing to offer. So another point is self-authentication makes one flexible towards change, mostly when the paradigm does, instead of being rigid. You see, change is never a threat to those who are prepared ahead of time. And as usually been said, when opportunity come across preparation, the answer is always success. And success or opportunities, opportunity never waits for those who are still in the making. Opportunity will always go for those who are prepared for it, because time and time waits for no one. So one thing about self-authentication is that the more authentic you are, the more you get up to do the needful at the right time. The more you feel, uncomfortable being in your comfort zone. You don't wait for things to happen before you know what to do. Being authentic enables you to be insightful ahead of the future. At times when people get employed in an organization, they take, they spend no time to develop themselves. And most people, the more they get into an organization, because they want to utilize, instead of them to wait for opportunities to come their way, they are always prepared ahead of opportunities by developing themselves, going for little courses either online or in classroom, and before you know what's going on, as soon as there's any opportunity in that same organization, they are able to place themselves forward because they are prepared for it. So the truth is, all our tomorrow depends on all our today. So that is why we need to make today count in whatever we do. And it's very, very essential we are being truthful to ourselves in the process of making our today count. So when we talk of change in any time or any moment, it requires us to be, to be prepared, to be serious-minded. When you're authentic, you are serious-minded, you know what's ahead of you, and you go for the right thing which is ahead of you. You don't go the wrong way, pretending or trying to please people, which is very, very dangerous for anyone to embark on. Another point is self-authentication enables one realize one's own potential and follow the right direction in life instead of beating around the bush or letting others dictate or take control of our lives. It's as simple as this. If you don't live your life, there's always somebody who's interested in living your life for you. Yes, either directly or indirectly. There's always somebody, yes, to live your life for you. And a man who refuses to live his own life is just a man who embarked on a journey to nowhere. At least every journey is meaningful when you have a starting point and a destination. But in a case whereby you don't know where you're going to, you just embark on a journey. Everything you have bought to a wasted effort without any form of assumption. Another point is self-authentication gives one the confidence and self-esteem to remain standing, yes, and fearless in any hard situation, and enable one trust in his ability in terms of making right decisions and gaining possibility in any situation. Yes, people imagine impossibilities, failures for others simply because they themselves, that's who they are. And you can only give what you have. Because as I usually say in previous episode, that you can't pour anything from an empty kettle. That is why you have to stand for yourself in life. That is why when situation gets hard, when situation gets tough, all you need to do is to get tougher. By letting yourself know that, no, this is me. If I fail myself, I'll be accountable for it. So therefore, all you need to do is become tougher. But you can never become tougher in a tough situation where you are not real to yourself. Because just like you have to end up being just like wax in the presence of fire. So the truth is, if you are being real to your own self, you will never compromise in any hard situation. But rather you trust in your ability, because you know what you are after and you know what you are doing. So, and eventually you always remain on track rather than developing a reason to give up. Most people develop reasonable reasons to make their failure palatable, decorated. No, life will never take that from you. Nobody ever celebrated a failure. Nobody will ever celebrate failure, no matter what. And nobody is ready to invest in the waste. No businessman will ever do that. So, rather, if you are real to yourself, you will know that failure is never an option. Yes, you can try again when failure becomes inevitable, but giving up is worst of it all. Now, another point is self-authentication gives one a sense of purpose towards fulfillment and makes one life meaningful. Behaving in accord with your true self may also bring disfavor from of others. Yes, or let me say from others. Most people, they will never support you because they are afraid of what you become. How do you see people who want others to supersede them? So rather than giving them right advice, they try to push them the wrong way. As I usually say, when you are true to your own self, to your own calling, when you are loyal to your own calling or your own personality, people might see you as being awful. People might see you as being odd. We might even tag you a black sheep, but even tag you any way you like. But the truth is, what you stand for today, yes, we celebrate it tomorrow. Yes, whatever good cause you stand for, whatever good calling you stand for, as far as you are real to yourself, you will be celebrated and you will triumph. At the end of the day, it might be tough, but being real to yourself will give you a reason why to never give up. That's one thing about life. As I usually say, life will never celebrate failures. Take it or leave it. So, however, self-authentication gives one a sense of purpose towards fulfillment. So, you must know your purpose before you can be filled. Without you knowing your purpose, what you stand for, what you aim at, what you tend to achieve, you can't be filled in anything. So, and makes one life meaningful. That's it. And I'm yet to see a third option to that. It's either you have a meaningful life or a meaningless life. End of story. So, another point is, we have to understand the power of authentication, which is very, very essential for us in this edition. One of the first, self-authentication, yes, provides self-awareness. It reflects on it's a reflection of one's understanding of his own action, what you are busy doing, and decision, what you've done, in relation to one's own strengths and weaknesses, without any bias, without any form of deceit. So it also facilitates overcoming fears by maximizing one's strength. Yes. You see, one thing about fear is that, as Shirley said, the meaning of fear simply means fake events appearing real. In as much as possible, anyone that's attained the position you want to attain in life, it's possible for you to attain as well. You might not get what it requires at the moment, but if you take the spirit upon yourself to go for it, you will get it. And there's nothing impossible, provided you are real to yourself. So, overcoming challenges or fears or obstacles, yes, requires you to maximize your own strength. However, you can even leverage that of others. Yes, that is teamwork, networking, and even overcoming fears of challenges at times requires further learning. Yes, not depend on what you've known previously. Not being rigid to your own way of life. There's always room for improvement and changes in life. Another point is, yes, self-authentication enables us focus on long-term results. Successful people don't waste precious time unnecessarily worrying over temporary setbacks. Their focus is always long-term. Yes, they quite understand that patience and hard work do take time, but yield rich results in the long run. That is the truth and nothing more. Yes. You see, when you are truthful to yourself, to persist any hard situation becomes part of you. Because you never expect the journey to be easier. Yes. And you see, if it's going to be easier, if there's to be easier, trophies will not be celebrated. Winners will not be distinguished. Champions will not be identified. So, if you expect everything to be easy, elections will not be contested. Yes, things will just be achieved, great dreams will just be achieved, and if a great dream to be achieved without any effort, then automatically the dream is valueless, baseless, meaningless. So, the truth is, self-authentication enables focus on the long-term results, long-term achievements. Yes, the point is that, where do you see yourself tomorrow? And what are you putting in today? As Shirley said, all our tomorrow depends on our today. That is to say, if you are not real to yourself today, you automatically become a failure tomorrow. If you are being real to yourself today, you have a huge tendency of doing what it requires. You have a huge tendency of being what you want to achieve in life. Most people base success on money. Yes, but the truth is, being financially free is just one part of being successful. Not all being successful. Success to another man means something different to another man. So, when people are judging you simply because of money or whatever, or their own expectation or definition about success, all it requires you to is what? They are trying to make you deprive yourself, deny yourself, ruin your identity in a psychological manner. But when you are real to yourself, overcoming all this becomes easier than ever. So, being truthful to oneself is more philosophical, it's more psychological. When you ask yourself the real questions, where you are in terms of, am I taking the real steps? Am I still on track? Am I making real decisions? Am I making rightful decisions? Am I doing the needful? Yes, all this makes who you become and who you are. And who you are distinguishes you, and nothing more. Another point about self-authentication is about, it goes along with integrity. Yes, strength of character is essential in any endeavor. That's it. If you are a carbon copy, nobody shares you. Nobody sees you as being honest to yourself. No matter how you pretend, people know the real self, your real self, and they understand you are pretending, and nobody values you for that. It's about standing for what is right and valuable in a fearless manner. That is one thing we have to understand. You have to be unapologetic for standing for what is right in life. Yes, as far as you have those kinds in your cupboard, yes, when you're authentic to yourself, no matter how people try to cast you down today, they will be the first person to celebrate it tomorrow. So it's essential you are being truthful to your own self. Rather, nobody will be truthful to your personality. Yes, another point is self-authentication allows you to live with a vision. You see, it's dangerous for a man to be alive without a vision. Very dangerous. Self-authentication is it's a serious indication of one living with purpose and vision. Yes, and they push themselves and others around them to raise the bar and aim for excellence and not limitation. That's it. If you don't excel in what you do, you limit yourself. It's as good as that. It's as good as that. But one thing about self-authentication is that you have a vision in which you cherish, in which you aim after. You wish you ensure that you are on track in terms of achieving. You have to yes, it makes you consistent in terms of what you want to achieve. Now, another point is consistency. People who are real to themselves never give up. Yes, people who are real to themselves, they never give up. That's what essential thing. Yes, or hardly get stuck in any situation. Rather, they have the ability to carry on. Yes, no matter how disappointing, no matter how painful, they cherish what they want to achieve more than what they are busy facing, more than those setbacks, hindrances. You know, at times when people criticize you, they make you feel as if your life is gone, your life is empty. There's nothing ahead of you. That's what they have to offer you. That's not what you have to give yourself. It requires you, to have it requires you to be a failure to listen to them or take to what they say. So the more you take to your true self, the more you overcome what they have to offer you, the more you prove them wrong on the long run. So self-authentication enables one to discover more of themselves and remain on course to be successful. That's the simple truth. Another point is drawing from experiences. Drawing from experiences. You know, one thing I would like to say at this point is that life itself is a teacher. Yes. And life has gotten a lesson for everyone at various points in life. But the way we take the lesson and apply those lessons are very, very essential. Yes, there's no better teacher than life itself. And we are better off learning from ours and others' life experiences. That's one essential thing we need to understand. Because, yes, everything you pass through in life, there's always one lesson or the other to gain from it. However, there are still lessons to gain from others as well. Not just what you do is what you do. But yet, what you could learn from others as well could help you. Another part of this element I want us to understand is that apart from understanding the powers of authentication, the benefits, you have to understand how to be authentic. You know, most people, not that they have the will, they have the desire to be a better version of themselves, but they don't know how to go about it. So, how to be authentic? First, we always have to accept the truth about ourselves in terms of our strengths and limits to address improvement matters. You know, in business, strategy or management, you know, there's what they call SWOT analysis. You have to know your strengths. You have to know your weaknesses. And you don't have to know how to put them into play. How to know where you capitalize more your strengths and you do nothing to your limits, there's going to be a serious for you on the long run. But when you do more in terms of your strength and also improve more of your weaknesses, yes, you have a huge tendency of going far in any endeavor. So, it's for us to improve ourselves. The more we increase our strength, the more we need to improve our weaknesses as well. Another thing is that we see things the way they are. Yes. Before making comments or decisions and avoid sentiment. You see, from this statement, this is what I want to understand. You see, sentiment kills destinies. Sentiment rules vision. Sentiment facilitates regrets and nothing more. The more realistic we are to ourselves, the more successful we become. And the more sentimental we are, yes, the more we end up being failures. And we are responsible for our successes and failure in life. Nobody takes responsibility for that. Another point is avoid pretending in any situation, but rather dare to do the needful and avoid excuses. Too many, rather than doing the needful, getting up, persist what it takes for them to be a better version of themselves. They always have a reasonable excuse, a decorated and beautified excuse, in terms of why they never get things done, in terms of, why they discourage themselves from getting it. Oh, it's only a waste, it's only a waste of effort, it's not a reasonable investment. But yet, the truth is, if you don't get things done for yourself, nobody gets things done for you. And the more you create excuses, the more you remain in your comfort zone, the more you continue to hope to the point of becoming hopeless. So the truth is, for us to be authentic, we should not pretend in any way. We should not, rather than assuming, we should challenge the assumption. Rather than creating the excuse for ourselves, we should feel uncomfortable. Yes, in our comfort zones. Another point is make reasonable efforts. Yes, to fulfill terms and conditions or requirements towards the next step or level. Yes, that is to say, for us to become better, we need to find out what it takes to become whatever we want to become. It's our responsibility. And the more informed we are, the more transformed we become. You see, having a vision is not all what it takes, or having a dream. A dream can become a mere wish if the right actions are not being taken. So, the truth and nothing more is that visions without efforts, yes, are more to failure. That's one point. Then another point of being authentic is that we need to pay attention to details by listening to what others and learn from what they have to say, but never allow their opinion define your life. You see, as I usually say, it's good to listen to people, it's good to hear their stories, it's good to take advice from various sources, but that should not deprive you of being your true self. That should not deprive you from doing what is right or what is needful. Yes. Another point is, don't allow people's opinion about you to determine what you become in life, which is very, very dangerous. People, yes, we always give you what they have to offer. That's what they've got to offer. But that doesn't mean they are the writer of your life. No way. Like Enes said, I'm the captain of my soul. Yes. He said, I'm the master of my soul. I'm the captain of my life. Yes. So whatever you become, you are responsible for it. Either you follow the rightful advice or the wrong advice. Yes, as I usually say, not all advice are reasonable, and not all reasonable advices are applicable. You just have to examine the situation yourself before applying any advice. Another point is, think before talking or taking action, and also learn from mistakes. Mistakes never make you a failure. They only improve your chance of learning more. Yes. So, and the more you learn, the more you earn, the more you identify. And that's one thing. What makes one a failure is by the time you give up. Regardless of your age, regardless of your situation, regardless of what you pass through, it's all about learning to discover what you could do to overturn the situation. You don't expect anyone to do that for you. It's your responsibility to get up and find out. Make an effort to learn more skills and gain more knowledge. That's it. You don't depend on what you've known previously. That's it. Or else you become outdated in the market. Nobody will be interested in investing in you because you don't have the modernized skills. You don't have the latest skills. You don't have what it takes to move the current paradigm. You don't feel wanted in the current circle. No. You need to learn more so that you don't be outdated. Another point is that make the best use of every opportunity that comes your way by being prepared for opportunity ahead and also avoid disappointment. It's as simple that you see, the more unprepared you are, the more disappointed you become. There's no magic about that. The more unprepared you are, the more disappointed you become. But the more prepared you are, yes, the more grace will become. That's it. Because opportunities are always interested in those who are prepared for it. End of story. Now, without self-authentication, you should understand one thing. When you are authentic, there's a reward, and when you are not, there's always an outcome for it. So, without self-authentication, why we hold grudges against others rather than learning how to get things done? That's the problem. Yes, when you continue to blame people for your failures, you continue to blame situation, government, everybody. But because you are not real to yourself. If you are real to yourself, you will know you need to get up and do something before ahead of opportunities. And when opportunities come your way, after I will be prepared, utilize them. Another point that one will always go with the crowd rather than thinking and acting in a different way. That's it. The more you follow the crowd, the more undistinguished you become. That's the truth. Because the more you can think, challenge current assumptions, challenge the existing norms, the more you become distinguished as a matter of time. Yes, people might see you as an odd, they might see you as a black sheep, they might even try to cast you down in an imaginary manner, psychological manner, but because you are real to yourself, you will not feel comfortable taking their wrong opinion. Yes, I always tell people, I don't believe in the term nonsense, because no matter what, there's still sense to learn from nonsense. Yes, that's what you regard as nonsense today might be sensible tomorrow. But yet, you have to be truthful to yourself to adopt the right methodologies for your own life. One will find it difficult to keep one's word and agreement with others, and would highly be inconsistent by not practicing what one preaches. That's it. You say this today, you do another tomorrow. Yes. And that is how to do it. You are not true to yourself. One thing about self-authentication is that it shows how loyal you are to your own self before anybody can embrace or invest in you. Another point is it becomes easy to pretend to be intelligent or act like a perfectionist, but ending up as a jack of all trades, master of none. The truth is that without self-authentication, there's no how you can have a direction in life. And without having a direction, there's no how you can become significant in any endeavor. You can't do all things. If you choose to be a writer, yes, let people know that you're a writer, and be truthful to yourself. You don't plagiarize what other people have done. You make your own research to discover your own philosophy. Yes, and that's what shows how truthful you are. And the more truthful you are, the more you excel in any endeavor. And one thing you have to know that, yes, it's good to invest in other various businesses, but you can't do it all alone. That's why you need networks. That's why you need people around you, the right people around you, to help you excel. And the more people help you to grow, the more you help others to become a better version of themselves, according to John Maxwell. Another point is self-authentication allows one's talent and passion to flourish. Yes, to flourish. Allows one to strive with the right purpose at mind. This is what I need to understand that. But if you are not authentic to your own self, automatically your talents will be limited. Your passion will become meaningless. And there's no how you can strive with the right purpose in mind. So you have to understand that without self-authentication, yes, no matter what you have today, no matter how rich you are tomorrow, the results always end up being failure. Yes, without self-authentication, yes. You see, without self-authentication, yes, without self-authentication, it becomes impossible for others to trust and respect our ability. Makes it hard. Yes, it makes it hard for others to trust and respect our ability, judgments, and decision. Yes. That's what it is. If you are not authentic, nobody trusts you. Authenticity also requires making concessions and informed choices based on accurate self-knowledge also gives eternal freedom. Without authenticity, that cannot be achievable. That's what we do. So without authenticity, we are not ourselves. That's the truth. And you could come to tell of it. You see, I'd like to admit at this point for a while. You see, the issue is the dare to do is the dare to succeed. Be yourself. Without authenticity, you are going nowhere. People may or may not like you, but it's important that you stay true to who you are. That's the power of self-authentication. Yes, don't expect you to be yourself. That's it. That's the truth. I don't say yourself. So, the truth is that the only person who can never live is yourself, and that is why you need to stand true. You have to stand for yourself and stay true to yourself. And the truth is that you will give account for your own life at the end of it, not other people. So, as I've said earlier on, the more truthful you are, yes, the more truthful you are, the more joyful you become at the end. Let us come to reason. Authenticity is not for the faith of the heart. That is, it's not about fear or lacking courage. That's what we need to understand about authenticity. Authenticity enables others to respect us for the values and beliefs we stand for in life. Yes, the dare to be yourself is the dare to go the extra mile in any situation. That's it. So you owe yourself the responsibility to be yourself. That's the truth. And without it, you're as good on the path to nowhere. And that is why it's very essential. Yes, it's very essential. We are authentic to our own self. We are authentic in everything we do. Now, at this point, I would like to refer us to get copies of this book. Of these books, they are very, very essential for our growth, for our inspiration, for for our insights. These books are available on Amazon, and then you could get. I would advise you get both copies because they are so insightful. They are I've gotten very good feedbacks from them, and which I would like to appreciate those who have done that. However, they are just books whereby you will like to read more times. Yes, and I would advise you to get copies. Above all, yes, self-authentication creates room for insight and initiatives. The more real you are to yourself, the more you are able, to develop yourself. The more you are able to create ideas, the more you are able to the more you are able to become insightful about yourself. Another point, self-authentication demonstrates influence and create a positive impact. Yes, because when you got what it takes, you do what you need to do. Self-authentication leads with integrity and effective decision making. That's the truth. Because when you know who you are, what you want to become, automatically it shows you are able to make the rightful decisions. Self-authentication is being loyal to oneself and calling. That's the truth, and that's what distinguishes you. As if to say, you don't go and spend your life, you don't go and waste your life on another man's feet achieving nothing. Self-authentication is the best way to create value and make the best choices. Yes, for you to make the best choice for your own life, you need to be authentic to your own self. For you to go the extra mile in any endeavor, you need to be your own self. And the power of authentication is more of making you become what you ought to become, and not what others want you to become. The power of self-authentication is what makes you excel and not be limited according to the opinion of others. The power of authentication is what enables you to rise above the bar and not keeping you in your comfort zone. Till I come your way next time. Yes. For now, bye bye.